Thank you, Sean Steve, for making this suggestion. Alien X-Tinction. And then there were none. What do these have in common? An alternate universe Ben Tennysons, all gathering up in one universe. I don't even know what to add more to this intro. Let's just begin the comparison. I've talked about Alien X-Tinction like 3 times already. I always find myself coming back to it.
I am inevitable.
Okay.
So, and then there were none to and then there was Ben sounds a bit of a mouthful. So for this video, I'm simply going to refer to them as ATN, and I'll refer to Alien X-Tinction by its regular abbreviation, AXT. One more thing. As usual, this video is about my opinion and what I think, so you might think differently. And with that in mind, let's actually start the video now. ATN is an Omniverse episode that begins its story showing an alternate universe Ben. This Ben does not have an Omnitrix and is not a superhero nor is famous. He just lives without any supervillains trying to kill him all the time, until another alternate universe Ben came up to him, and turns out this version of Ben is a bad one, and he tries to kill him.
If I were a nice guy, I would explain why you must be destroyed. But I am not a nice guy.
And then turns out that he and several other bad alternate universe Ben Tennysons are working for Eon, who is working with Vilgax. And then Paradox came in, called all the good Bens. They all got wiped out by a Chronosapien time bomb. Every one of them, including Eon, disappeared, except for No Watch Ben. And with Paradox's help, he went back in time and rebooted the Prime timeline. And then they all fought Eon and the bad Bens, and eventually won. AXT is the finale of the Ben 10 reboot, and is currently the last episode in the franchise. This special begins by showing an alternate universe Ben, similar to ATN, which got his Omnitrix removed by a mysterious Omnitrix-wielding celestial sapien. And AU Max came in and fixed his arm, and tells him that he can never get his Omnitrix back.
I'm sorry, Ben. I'm afraid your Omnitrix is gone. Forever.
He goes back to his ship and turns out this Ben is just one of the many Bens who got their Omnitrix stolen by this entity. Maximilian gets an idea to secure a universe before Alien X does, which brings us to the reboot dimension. Seemingly just the night after the events of Ben Gen 10. Ben and the gang's night gets ruined by the appearance of Alien X. Ben tries to fight him, but his aliens aren't strong enough to take him down. They all meet Maximilian, and he explains what this entity is.
Awesome.
Alien X? As in X like mystery or X like the Roman numeral for 10?
Ben tries to fight him again, and eventually loses the Omnitrix. Not long after, someone stepped in through a portal, a crystal sapien. He states that he means no harm, and asks Ben if he has ever transformed into this alien. Ben says no, that the crystal sapien de-transformed into a human. Turns out, he's another alternate universe Ben, which resembles Ben Tennyson from Alien Force. They all try to set up a trap for Alien X, but fail to defeat him. Maximilian calls in yet another alternate Ben, this time resembling the Ben from Ultimate Alien. Reboot Ben goes in the portal with Maximilian, while AF and UA Ben fight Alien X. We all know what happens next. Alien Force and Ultimate Alien Bens failed to beat him, and Reboot Ben came back with even more alternate universe Ben, this time resembling the original series Omniverse, as well as Gwen 10. And they all fight Alien X and eventually won. Right, so that was a summary of how the plot went. I think that AXT has a more interesting plot than ATN, because Alien X is like a legend, and seeing him in an episode of the Ben 10 reboot is very unexpected. ATN's story is good too, just didn't get me as interested as AXT first time knowing it. Let's have a count on all the AU Bens that appeared in both episodes. ATN has a total of 10 alternate Omnitrix-wielding Ben Tennysons. Some of them are Bens which had been featured in previous episodes and will be featured in future episodes, and some others are only present in this episode. AXT only has 5 AU Bens, not counting those we saw in the beginning of the special. 4 of them are Bens from the previous shows. Or are they? Check out my theory video on what I think on that. One of them is only featured in one original series episodes and a few Omniverse ones. ATN has a more diverse and varying collection of Bens. Like, some of them are good, some of them are bad, old, young, so on and so on. All AXT's Bens are essentially the same Ben, only with different designs, watches, and maybe personality changes.
Not the same. Different watch.
So they don't really have that much diversity here. Doen't is the only one who is very different than the rest. And most of the Bens in ATN got more screen time than OS and OV Bens and Doen't in Alien X-Tinction, so it's undoubtedly a win for ATN when it comes to the alternate universe Bens. On this next part, we're gonna be talking about, I actually don't know what else to compare for this next one. That's actually everything. In this next part, I'm just gonna be saying which of these I think is better. So, AXT versus ATN. I think that the winner is... And then there were none, and then there was Ben. I know I said AXT had better plot, but ATN had better AU Ben appearances. AXT didn't win very far on the plot. It's just the main synopsis of it that got me more interested than ATN did. But the story felt too rushed, as I've mentioned in previous videos. ATN's story had better execution, and it just had the right pace speed. And it didn't leave you hanging with a question in your mind or a cliffhanger, which is what AXT did in the ending. So yeah, I think ATN is better than AXT. And with that said, it's gonna be all for this video. I hope you'll find it somewhat enjoyable. Thank you, Sean, for making this suggestion again. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you next time. Adios.